Paintings are full of unsolved mysteries. To understand the mystery of each picture, you have to get acquainted with the life and thoughts of its creator. Let these paintings come to life. Watch our new TV program at the gallery. Oriental robe is a familiar attribute of any wardrobe. In fact, this piece of wardrobe is not as simple as it seems and has a very ancient history, as well as ceramics. Reshat Kozhakhmetov can deal with rebellious and unpredictable clay and glaze. How does he do it? Is it alchemy or an accurate calculation? Today, we will find out more about it. Historical reference: Kimono or Oriental robe. Author: Reshat Kozhakhmetov. Almaty, 2013. Size: 61 by 48 by 12 centimeters. Shamat. And if at first when we look at kimono we see the shape created by a ceramic sculptor and color by a painter, then later other small details appear. And when we gaze at it, we at first find the major items of the kimono, but then other ones emerge, those that are smaller and even smaller.
Мы находим сначала крупную деталь, потом помельче, потом еще мельче.
Pottery is one of the oldest arts in the world. This is a skill which originated at the dawn of human history and has incorporated the painting, sculpture and pottery. We find some ceramic objects that were hidden under archaeological rubble for thousands of years. The fact that suggests that products are made of clay already embodied in works of art are utilitarian and purely creative works which existed for several millenniums. Pottery, from the Greek word keramos, means clay. It is from the clay, according to the Holy Book, that the Almighty created man. Skill of pottery originated in the era of Stone Age. The vases with thick walls were burned at the stake. Women mostly molded them. It has been established by numerous fingerprints. As time passed, ways of handling ceramic products and their form had changed. In the late Neolithic period, they have become more diverse. Pitchers, bowls and cups. They were found during archaeological research throughout the world. So a quarter of pottery workshops and a variety of unique pieces of ceramic objects belonging to the pre-Mongol period were found during the excavation of ancient Otrar. Oddly enough, the homeland of ceramics in the world is considered to be Korea. However, the greatest height in this art were reached by the Japanese and the Chinese, seeing that they have been engaged with ceramics for thousands of years. Ceramics are still revered as a type of art, because ceramic artists are masters who carry not only their skills at the workshops, but also people who form some kind of culture, aesthetics of this art form. Historical reference: Reshat Kozhakhmetov. He was born in 1951. In 1976, he graduated from the Moscow Architectural Institute. Member of the Union of Artists of Kazakhstan. Member of World Crafts Council. Member of numerous competitions and biennales in Australia, China, the USA, Germany and other countries. He worked in Japan and France. Today, Reshat Kozhakhmetov's works are exhibited not only in the museums of Kazakhstan, but also in the galleries of Egypt, Japan, as well as in private collections around the world. His works belong not only to one kind of art, and not to a single material, which is clay. Clay comes out of his imagination already completely some other incarnation. That is, it appears to be a new product which combines in itself both form and color. and some of its own specific aesthetics of presentation.
Преподнесение материала. То есть его сегодня можно рассматривать уже.
Today he can be considered as part of this form of art, and as an artist who works with color, and sculptor who works with form, and as a man who puts certain spiritual thoughts, reflections in his work.
Духовные какие-то свои мысли, размышления и вот в эти свои произведения.
Reshat Kozhakhmetov now works in the same studio where his mother used to work. Aisha Galimbayeva was the first Kazakh woman who mastered the art at a professional level. She was the founder of the Kazakh still life. Painting was everything to her. But her only son happened to be indifferent to this kind of art.
Вообще-то я, конечно, попытки делал.
Actually, I was trying to get interested in painting, and I was pretty good. And even my mother insisted that I could become... But painting absolutely didn't touch me.
Ну, не трогало, что ли, я не знаю.
I have always been interested in volume. Painting, it doesn't have volume.
Здесь ты...
But in sculpture, you can not only create a volume, but you can also incorporate painting and graphics.
Тоже здесь разъяснить.
It is a synthesis, graphics and sculpture and painting in ceramics.
Все, и скульптура.
You can do anything you want. Of course, this type of art has its own specifics. It is impossible to dissolve a painting like you do it on canvas. But in general, to a certain extent, it is possible to do. But in the painting, it is impossible to do what you can do in ceramics.
Невозможно сделать. Но в живописи невозможно сделать того, что ты можешь сделать в керамике.
And in ceramics, he is a magician. But in order to become one, it took a long time. 20 years of trials, experiments, and creative searches. Today, Reshat Kozhakhmetov knows everything about this ancient art, and his story began with the baths of Alma-Ata.
Когда я работал в комбинате художественном.
When I worked in the art plant at the time of the Soviet Union, we had an order to create the interior for Arasan baths. They only required ceramics in their interior. It was then when I felt this material in my hands for the first time, and I liked working with clay. But this love didn't come to me immediately. Slowly and gradually, I felt the material. I realized that this is what I like, that I work with it with great pleasure. And I started my works in ceramics.
Кайфую от этого. Я так уже постепенно уже ушел в керамику совсем уже.
I think this inner feeling of architectonic objects and items he had his whole life. And this is very important because he's involved with small sculptures, and this quality when an object has an internal structure design is clearly evident in his works. Let's recall the other well-known artists who have made a significant contribution to the world of ceramics. Salvador Dalí. In a way, he became the successor of Pablo Picasso, who invented a way to capture his creations in ceramics. There are well-known three-dimensional works of Dalí in the form of sculptures and plates. About his work, the artist said, "If it's too easy for you, let me know, and I will gladly make it a little more complicated." Mikhail Robe is a unique painter, ceramist, and sculptor. He turned the idea of contemporary sculpture upside down, bringing color and luster into it, which was made possible by using ceramic techniques. His most famous work in ceramics, panel Princess of Dreams on the facade of the Hotel Metropole. Eva Zeisel, her work has always been very pragmatic, but also very poetic. All of her dishes were functionally suitable, but it is filled with feminine charm. Eve used to say, "Beautiful things make people happy." Gunnar Nylund, Swedish ceramist designer. At the ceramic company Rörstrand, he began to use the icing as a means of creative expression. and created a lot of applied works with an unusual and very decorative appearance. In his work, Reshat Kozhakhmetov departs from the usual stereotypes. It seems that ceramist is capable of everything. Burning fire on a flat dish? Easy. Fish, reefs, and underwater kingdom? Easy. In this serious sea, everything comes to life. Stately female characters are also very enchanting. They are like the Greek caryatides. One can only wonder how by only using clay and glaze, the artist precisely conveys the beauty of the female body.
Те температуры, с которыми работает Решат Kozhakhmetov, это уже...
Those temperature with what Reshat works, they already go beyond 1000 degrees. He does it to get a certain quality of the product that comes out of the oven. Because here it is necessary to rely on changes in temperature, changes in some color characteristics of the object. Since not all the physical complexity of clay itself withstand these temperatures. Therefore, each product is a great experience, and there are no works that would repeat each other.
Которые повторяли бы друг друга, потому что материал ведет себя в разных...
The material behaves differently at different temperatures. Some things are destroyed, generally they break in the furnace. If, God forbid, there is an air bubble in the clay under the influence of high temperatures, it breaks. So the sculpture is an attempt to create out of the clay a material that will withstand different temperatures and will carry the emotion to the audience. This is a very serious work.
Выдержит эти температуры и донесет до зрителя эмоцию художника, это очень серьезная работа.
Working with ceramics requires a lot of knowledge in the exact sciences. It's not enough just to be a sculptor and a painter, but you need to be a virtuoso who's modeling clay. The artist ceramist should understand the chemistry and physics. Reshat Kozhakhmetov has his own burning secrets. That's why he gets a unique product.
Надо сказать, что глина есть принцип.
I must say that clay is different in any part of the world.
Но есть разница.
Although it can be found almost everywhere in the world.
Например, в Алма-Ате существует...
I do not want to go into details, but, for example, in Almaty there is only red clay. You can glaze it literally at 900 degrees. And if you work with higher temperatures, then you have to find and order clays from other regions.
Куда-то в дальние края и там заказывать эту глину.
For Reshat Kozhakhmetov, clay is a living material, which dictates the terms. The ideas of many of his works are born precisely in the process. As he admits himself often, at first he conceives one thing, and during the molding he obtains a completely different product. Master does not use the potter's wheel with his work, he sculpts his works with his hands. He sculpts, gradually increasing the form, and this gradual build-up of form is very similar to oil painting, because their form of a flower or human face is obtained through a gradually increasing technique. That is, this technique I call it a patchwork. That is, I do a set of such grafts, then collect them in the form of patches. Slowly, gradually he builds up both form and meaning. And the longer we look, the more congenial we feel what he wanted to express, to show us as an artist.
В общем-то, эта техника
Well, in general it is not new, it is used by many potters. It is known from ancient Egypt. However, it works.
С Древнего Египта. Вот. Но она, тем не менее, она работает.
Reshat Kozhakhmetov captures the audience attention with a form, creates a bright and unique images, In the works of ceramists, clear lines combined with the smoothness pattern and softness of the scenic spots. In his Oriental robes, simple traditions of folk art are connected with the artist's avant-garde language.
Один из халатов несет на себе отпечатки петроглифов.
One of the robes bears the imprints of Kazakhstan petroglyphs.
Это те слои культуры.
And it's clear that these are the layers of sculpture that are part of our life, consciousness. Even despite the fact that the word Kazakh did not exist yet, it is in our territory, and whatever culture produced these beautiful pictures, they come into our consciousness as a part of our self-identity, as self-identity of each person and of all people.
Они входят в наше сознание как часть нашего «я», как «я» личности и как «я» народ.
Every work in these series is different, but each of them has a wonderful combination of colors.
Очень мощно очевиден аспект колористического.
Very powerful, obvious aspect of color solutions.
Конечно, от мамы это.
This, of course, he inherited from his mother, Aisha Galimbayeva. She very sensitively felt the subtle nuances of plastic form and colors. To achieve this in ceramics is very difficult. Sometimes it turns out that these coloristic spots in the object, they don't work with each other in the oven. They may conflict with each other and so on. It is such a complex alchemy that Reshat achieves very convincing in every object he makes.
Это такая сложнейшая алхимия, которую Решат добивается в каждом объекте достаточно убедительно.
Modern artists create unusual works of ceramics. Chilean artist Livia Marin decided to give a second life to a broken ceramic. Broken cups, glasses and other kitchen utensils as if spread out over the surface of the table while retaining elements of the painting. Chris Rinyak, artist from Detroit, creates clay bizarre monsters. It all started with the fact that he just began to make sketches of imaginary creatures in a notebook, and then decided to give them some shape. Ukrainian artist Anna Stasenko and Slava Leontiev now work with ceramics, one of them a graphic artist and another an art teacher. They decided to make porcelain figurines because it was interesting to try their hand at something new. The result of this experiment has become intricately painted and decorated, fabulous creatures, made with much love and awe. The English artist Katharina Morling creates original sculptures made of ceramics, which at first glance may seem painted on paper. Dyslexia does not allow the artist to properly read and write, so she devotes all her time to creativity.
Many
people believe that it's just easy to pick up the clay and mold it. No, it's not like that. And most importantly, I think, today Reshat became, although I hate to say the word, but he became the master in this art form. As his art is not focused on national traditions, it is not narrowly defined by geographic environment in which he lives. He went beyond Kazakhstan as a world-class artist. Reshat participated in numerous workshops. He worked as a representative of Kazakhstan, but he really created works in Japan, Korea, China. He created works that showed him as a great artist.
Он работал как представитель Казахстана, но он действительно создавал в Японии, в Корее, в Китае, в других странах.
By place of birth, he's only an artist of Kazakhstan, but in fact, he is a world-class artist.
По месту рождения, по месту жизни это был художник из Казахстана, но на самом деле это художник уже мирового класса.
Ceramics has always existed side by side with humans. In Kazakhstan, for many years it was considered to be an applied and utilitarian art. Reshat Kozhakhmetov broke this stereotype. His entire life is in his works. using classical ideas and discovering new techniques every time the artist proves that ceramics is not an easy craft. This is a high-class art.